So I'm not sick of mucking around with this stupid scooter yet. And as a result, there's going to be another video on the scooter today. However, it's probably just going to be a bit of a quicker one because my camera fully shit the bed last time. Anyway, I went to Nitro Champs yesterday. Hence the whole Saturday is gone. However, I did come into work today, being Sunday, because I still wanted to get a little bit done on the scooter. And while I was at Nitro Champs, I was talking to my mate Angus, who has the Calais Kids YouTube channel, and I asked him, I was like, what do you use for a cameraman? Because I have no idea what I'm doing, and I don't really want to, or / can't afford to buy a $1,000 camera right now. And he was just like, I use my phone. So bear with me. It's probably going to be a bit different. I'm trying really hard not to look at the screen because the advantage of the other little camera that I was using is the screen's tiny. So even if I'm looking at it, I'm basically looking at the lens. So this is all a bit new to me. But either way, for now, I'm sure I'll get used to it. And for the time being, I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. It's probably honestly a better quality video anyway than doing it on that little camera because it was a bit old and it had definitely seen some shit. So today, what I will be doing though is pulling the scooter out first. I'll show you what you've missed since the last video. It's not a whole lot, but I figured it'd be worth mentioning at least. And then I bought a cable repair kit and a Shimano outer. So I can make something work here because the cable on it is too short for my super cool carb, which I'll find somewhere around here. This mad China carb that I bought, which is kind of sick. It's huge compared to what's on it sort of thing, but the bottom sits past the crankcase. So what I will be doing and what I really want to do is get this on, get this working and everything. The other things I need to buy is pipe. The cheapest one I can find is like $300 on Alibaba. It does look pretty good. And it's for like a big bore Honda Dio. So Honda Dio is obviously 50cc scooters. But when they're big board, I think they're 90s or 100s. So basically what I can do, my theory is that obviously expansion chambers on two strokes are super important, super crucial to, I don't even know if I'm looking at the camera, but super crucial to the way they work and like the way they reverberate. I don't fully understand it, I have like a slight grasp on it, but if it's a slightly undersized pipe for a hotted up, smaller scooter motor, it's probably going to be close to what I want for this. Like this thing won't rev to 10,000, nor do I want it to be revving to 10,000, but the biggest change I think in it will be like mucking around with the clutch and the variator and stuff sort of thing. So anyway, that aside, what I will do first is I'll get this out and I'll show you what's different, what's new, what I've actually been working on this week after work, which isn't a lot, but it's a bit more than last week. So obviously it's got a mad CAD body kit on it at the moment. And last time I was saying I wanted to make it look like a little mini bagger. So this is my thought process behind this. It's going to be, I don't know how I'm going to actually attack it and make it. Like physically making this shouldn't be too difficult. I brought some stuff with me to start doing that. Actually sort of, attaching it to this is another thing. That's the making, it's the easy part. But what I will do is tweak the design a little bit. This was just my sort of mock-up, but you can sort of see what I'm going with here. And what I did want to do was extend these louvers all the way down so I can pull a quick mold off these. Not today, but I can pull a quick mold off these and quite easily make copies of those to have the louvers running almost all the way down. And here's why I say I want to get a pipe, because this is the thing that's on it. I don't even know what it's off. It leaks, it's horrible. It's basically a straight pipe. I'm sure an incorrectly sized expansion chamber is still going to be better for it than this and probably sound a little bit cooler. And as you can see, the motor, like you cannot see it at all. And once this is like quite a bit lower with this weird looking kit thing on it, like it's out of the question basically. First things first, I'm going to pull the funny cardboard kit off, pull the side fairing off and a bit of the cluster stuff to get the throttle cable out so I can get the grip off and everything, and then make a new throttle cable for it that's going to be long enough. I'll mock up the new carb where it needs to live sort of thing. I can probably just take it comes with this little, it's like a 90-degree, I don't even know what you call a pipe to adapt it to whatever, because it's obviously a universal thing. I can take that home and probably have a okay go at trying to TIG it up to put it in the right position. I'm sure we've got some little tube at home to make it straight rather than a 90-degree thing, but I'll show you what I mean. So I pulled everything apart. There's not much to pull apart, but I started pulling the cluster and shit out and like the front of it sort of thing. I do also want to do something with this. I'm trying to think. Like I said, bear with me. It feels weird filming with my phone. I don't know why, but I want the bars to be like silly like that. Well, I've already sized them up, sort of thing. But you know what I mean, if they were like that and short, not out to there. You get me? Anyway, yeah. So I've pulled this all off. So what I gotta do now is also, I'll just make sure I have heaps of length and heaps of adjustment in it, sort of thing. It doesn't matter if it's a bit long down here. I'll just do like a bit of a loop-de-loopsy sort of thing, so I can still get the full throttle. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to cut I can just get a new throttle cable. It's not the end of the world, actually. But yeah, what I'm going to do, and like the main reason I sort of wanted to do it was this. Obviously, this slides in. It's just the slide is shorter. And I did try to swap it over, and it doesn't work. But because the oil pump it has like a Y in it, so I just want to make a single cable. I feel like it's not going to worry it. It's out of the way, but just for, I don't know, my mental sake, I want one cable on here, not the second one, sort of thing. But like I said, super easy to unrun, so I'll get it all apart now, and then I'll start making this new one up. I've got all the cable and stuff off. I pulled the factory carb off as well. And here's the sick new China carb. So I worked out all I need to do is actually mow, I've got Super Cinematic mode on, mow where are we? That little nipple off the bottom, because that's the only thing that's hitting on the crankcase. So still got a bit of petrol in it, so this will be exciting when I do it. I'm gonna give it a blow with compressed air, but you can see with a spacer in it, it should be super close. It's just gonna be a pain in the ass to drain, so I'll take the minimum off it that I need to, and then see how we go. I can probably even double stack the little spacers, but anyway, I'll do this quickly. So holding the little spacer up to it as well, you can see obviously the intake is quite a bit smaller. A bit hard to get the camera in there, but what I'll do as well is, because it's just 4 bolts, not because I'm lazy, I'll quickly knock that off, and I'll line this all up, mark it, and I'll port, I guess you'd say, that to the new carb. I think it's going to make 2 fifths of fuck all difference, but worth doing because it's going to take about 5 minutes while I'm here. An absolutely abysmal job of that, but it's funny, it's like an egg shape now. Doesn't matter, it's about the right size for the hole. It's not going to actually affect anything too much, I can't imagine, but anyway, I can always make it nicer later regardless. But what I'll do now is I'll put this back on, put this, whatever you call it, spacer back on, and then get this new carb on, and then finish making this throttle cable. It's all absolutely super new to me, but I've got the cable up to here. I tried to leave as much length as I could on it, sort of thing, and I've done the adjustment all the way loose so I can tighten it from here if it ever stretches, whatever. And I got this little fitting kit, and they're brass, so hopefully, I know they're stainless or whatever, but see how this goes. It's probably going to bust off straight away. But I've never done this, but we kind of did this the other day, but not really. Besides that, I did get to run with the new carb, but it's a bit hard to sort of control it without the throttle and stuff, sort of thing. But the idle adjustment is on the back side. But anyway, I'll get this on now. Hopefully this works. Alrighty, so we got the new cable on. I don't know, battery hooked up. And I've got like a hair of free play. I had to adjust it out a little bit more than I wanted, sort of thing, but it's not the end of the world. I still have more adjustment, and like I said, the soldering worked, so I'll kick it over. Also, the Kickstarter, you can feel how not nice it is because of the chunk missing, but even with the new carb, hopefully, I won't jinx myself. It starts pretty good. This is super cool. So my mate Jeff messaged me the other week, and he's like, fucking, I found these things. Do you want one? They're like $45 or something. But it's a 1/64 scale Crown Athlete that's like slammed on some fucking, I don't even know what they are, like Aussies maybe. But this is like actually like fucking cool as. I need to give it a clean because it sat in here for a day while I wasn't here, and it's covered in dust. It even comes with like little decals and stuff. But that's fucking, focus. That's pretty sick. Like fucking, doesn't do any justice to how tiny this thing is. Obviously, it's like Hot Wheels size, but like that's cool as. And for something that, hold on, I'll change to the whoa, flash as well, but like, it's pretty cool. Like, it's a fucking, even the interior is like accurate as, I don't know, I'm super impressed. Forgot to mention at the start of the video, this is the other thing that I'm currently working on. Of course, I got multiple things going on at once. So I obviously work at a stereo shop, so it'd be a shame not to do a custom stereo system for the scooter. So I got 2 sets of Infinity Alpha, just little cheapo sort of speakers, but I like Infinity, so 4 inches. So they do fit. I'll grab one of the speakers and I'll show you. That's why there's been a speaker floating around. But this will basically just sit inside here. If I can get up in there like this, and it looks super professional and nice and all that sort of thing. But where this actually lives is, I'll get it back out. This is like where your knees go, basically. So I still got to trim in here a little bit. I didn't quite do the stretch right when I did it, sort of thing. But basically, bear with me. This will go something like this in here. It does fit pretty good, but it's hard because it's not attached or anything yet. And you can see in there, basically what it'll do is this will flip up, close, get a little key thing there, and then it'll come down, and you get your speakers, just for the sake of doing it, really. It's one of those things I was like it won't take me super long. I've probably spent like maybe an hour or so on it at this point. But also it's annoying not being able to flip this camera around as easily. Anyway, I just had to mention that while I was going, sort of thing. But ridiculous how naked this scooter thing is with nothing on it. Like, it's just, there's not a lot to it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's not unnerving. Fuck, it's just like basically a glorified push bike, really. Thing that I did say I need / want to do is start some stuff with the kit. And to do that, I brought a bit of fiberglass from home. I got some heavy mat, and it involves this door down here, this glass door that just lives here at work. Because what I'm going to do with it is put it on a trestle and give it a bit of a clean, and essentially lay matte on this, soak it in resin, let it cure, and then I've got thin sheet. And this is something that I kind of filmed a little bit of when I was doing my body kit, but I filmed it all on TikTok and stuff like that. And it's pretty cool. It's a super easy way to make parts pretty easily, sort of thing. So this super weird, like looking at myself like this. I'll just cover my face, but yeah, so what I'll do is I'll set this up on a trestle and get some resin, sort of thing. I'm not going to go crazy. This is going to be a bit of a thin sheet. Obviously, you can make different thicknesses and stuff, so you can get different flex in them. But essentially what you do is you make all the stuff, cut the bits out that you need, super glue them together, reinforce the back with more matte, and then you've got a pretty good rapid prototype out of like just straight fiberglass, a little bit of filler to refine the edges and stuff. But because this is an 80s scooter, it's kind of going to be perfect. This is all pretty well clean now. It doesn't need to be perfect. You'll see what I mean when I pop it off, though. It does copy whatever's underneath. So if you want a glass-like finish, which I'm not sure why you would, because you have to buzz it back to do anything with anyway, do it perfectly, but otherwise just get it pretty good so it won't stick. But check this shit out. How good's that look? Super sparkly, little bits of resin, but like I said, fiberglass isn't that bad. The time, rather, fiberglass isn't that bad. This mat that I have actually is, speaking of that, not the best thing in the world. It feels pretty nasty to touch because it's a little bit pricklier than usual, but I think it might be whatever they bind the fibers with, sort of thing. But anyway, I'll go grab that, mix up some resin, and I'll get to making this mat. I don't have a roller either, so it's not going to be that perfect. But essentially, as you can see, it's a super even, super flat, nice sheet of fiberglass. The underside, like I said, will be exactly what was on top. There's not that much to it. I did have a roller in the end, so basically wet out as much as I needed to, or as much as I sort of could. And then, sorry, I obviously wet the underside, sort of thing, on the glass, so it has a nice finish. It doesn't, you don't have to wet it all the way through then. And then lay your sheet, sort of thing, and then your first bit of sort of resin, and then if you over soak the first one, like you could see in the video, you should be able to roll out the second one. And then if you do 3, 4, whatever, this will be pretty thin and pretty flexible sort of thing. But this is 2 layers of 400 gram per square meter mat, and shit, that's probably, what's that, 70 centimeters, so it's probably 1.5 meters of that, and I reckon I use maybe 1.5 liters of resin, so that's a probably $20, $25 a part. And if you think about that versus what you get for a can of expanding foam, and you usually need 3, 4, 5 of those if you try to do anything with expanding foam, and a lot more time, and then you still need the fiberglass and the resin and all that sort of thing. You come out in front on this. The only downside is it's hard to make compound, complex curves sort of thing. But as far as one-off parts go, and basic one-off parts, I've made a few things now, like my bumper, and made a little Motec dash cluster basically doing this. It's super cool. It's the easiest way I found to do stuff. But like I said, this video is going to be pretty short. It's probably going to be like 10, 15 minutes short, which is like a massive contrast to the last video I did, which was like 45 minutes long. But next time will be exciting because I'll be making parts from scratch, and that's always pretty interesting, pretty entertaining, and it's going to be probably pretty surprising to see how quick it actually is and how easy it is to do. Well, like I said, it is Sunday, and it's like 5:30 now, and I want to get the fuck out of here. But thanks for bearing with me for filming on my phone, because it's super strange. Hopefully I can get used to it. I need to make like a cover for the screen, like I said before, so I can't see myself, and then I can stare at the camera really easily like this, and it's way more normal. But for the time being, this is how it's going to be, unless I magically come across some super cheap camera on Marketplace. But I'll see how I go anyway. So thank you for watching.